Hey guys, Jordan here. I just wanted to share some thoughts that I had after shooting a house on Monday for a friend, and he ordered Twilight photos, but I wanted to go there with the intention of thinking like, how much media and how much value can I produce in the amount of time that was allocated to me, right? So the appointment started at 6 o'clock, sunset was 6:38, so he only ordered pretty much just Twilight photos. I wanted to test a couple different things as well. And I was pretty, I guess, impressed with how much I was able to produce in a matter of an hour. And I figured I'd share with you guys because it might help to like think outside the box, maybe something, because something that's very important, when I'm shooting, I don't always just think about, okay, let me do exactly what the customer did. I'm always looking for ways to improve that experience, to deliver more than what's expected. And this is how you create fans for your business, people that share, people that write good reviews. So it all just comes down to, just delivering value. Let me talk about this shoot. So it was a 6 o'clock shoot. I knew what sunset was, so I had an idea about what time I needed to do the Twilight photo. So I just will B-roll or show some of the footage that I was able to capture, but it took 15 minutes to set up the house, right? So I got there at 6, so from 6 to 6:15, I was setting up the house, went through, prepped everything. It was an elderly lady that was there, and she didn't know too much, so I had to help her take the cover off of the spa, figure out how to turn on the pool light. So there was some setup, and also turn fans off for the photos. Now in this case, when he ordered the photos, I wasn't gonna be so picky about video because that's just a bonus. So I just decided to leave the fans off. I usually prefer them on just to add a little bit of movement for it. So, but to be honest, I don't think it took away from the video at all. The video turned out great. All right, so we set up the property, 15 minutes. I then went outside. It wasn't quite time for Twilight or even early shots, right? Just about. So what I did first is I did 2 master shots of the property. So, at about 50 feet elevation, higher than the obstacles that are, street lights and stuff like that. And all I did was master shots on drone. Most recent DJI drones have master shots, and it automatically does this whole process of shooting a variety of shots, and it takes 2 minutes. So I did that on the front, then I did drone photos in the front, so I threw those in as well. And then I flew the drone to the back of the property, and I did master shots from essentially the same elevation, 2 minutes, and then I got some photos back there. All right, then I came back, landed the drone. By that, I think that was a total of 10 minutes there. So then I grabbed my camera. I like to shoot with a monopod. I feel like I can move around way faster, and I just feel a lot more productive as a photographer. And I can push the limits a bit more with our new editing process on like the ISO setting. So my default aperture is 7.1, but I've been shooting with an ISO range of 1 to 12,800. I shoot with my daily camera is an A7S III. It does great in low light. It has dual native ISO. If you're familiar with the camera, it performs well. But I like that so that I can move around on my monopod. Even if I'm moving a little bit, it's not gonna create a blurry image. So anyways, so I shot the exteriors first. So I shot the front, then I shot the back, and then I shot the interior. Actually, all that shooting took around 15 minutes. This house was 4,000 square feet. It wasn't a small one. So kind of think to yourself, like, how long am I spending out at these properties on average? And if it's like significantly more than that, you might be, might want to think things through about how you're moving through houses, the flow. After the photos, I grabbed the video camera. So I did front, interior, back of initial video clips. I still had time. So then after that, because it wasn't quite ready for those darker Twilight photos, so then I spent 3 minutes and I did a Cubicasa floor plan, which I could just throw in. And that took a total of 3 minutes. and then it was about time, right? So, but it wasn't quite time yet. I like it usually, depends on the time of year and the lighting and stuff, but 20 to 30 minutes after sunset is my ideal time for twilight photos. But I went back outside, I did 2 more master shots with the drone. That took, what, another five minutes, so it's 2 minutes per shot, you know, another minute to get it off the ground. Did those front and back, and I did it in the same position or a similar position. It doesn't have to be exact. Same height, I paid attention to the height, and then I brought it back. Then I used my monopod to do the twilight photos. I didn't even use a tripod. You should be seeing some of those shots here, but I did the front, then I did the back, and I was pretty happy with the results that I got. And then before I left, I did a few more video clips so that I could do almost like a day to night look, right? So earlier, it was only like 45 minutes earlier, but it was significantly different than what it looked now. So I remembered a few of the shots that I did, so I just, you know, spent 5 minutes, redid the front shot, did the sign shot, did a walking to the door, and then a couple shots in the backyard. I didn't retouch the interiors, but just some of the exteriors, a shot by the pool, and a couple things. That was another 5 minutes. So anyways, from start to finish, I was there at 6 o'clock, 6 to 6:15 setup, 6:15 to 7:15. So it was a total of an hour. I was able to capture all that. Then I left at 7:15. Yeah, I was probably finished at 7:10. I was pretty surprised with not stressed. I wasn't rushed. I was just in my head like, okay, how can I deliver value? I'm gonna be there anyway. I have time, what can I do? And I was pretty excited with what I was able to accomplish in a matter of an hour. So anyways, I just thought I'd share my thoughts with you guys, just so, you know, sometimes it takes another perspective or somebody else talking things through before a light bulb goes off in your mind and helps make you rethink, like, am I doing it? Should I rethink the way that I'm shooting, that I'm editing, that I'm doing this, that I'm doing that? And that's kind of, I love like thinking that way. And even though I've shot thousands of houses, I'll go out there and I'll try to tweak and try new things. This is how it stays interesting and it's fun. And I think that's what makes real estate photography so fun to me, is because it's not necessarily doing the same thing over and over again. You have a new house that you're trying to figure out. No house is, I mean, I guess some houses are pretty much the exact same, but most houses, there's always something that you're dealing with. There's always something with an occupant or something. Yeah, just different things that you're dealing with on a particular property. But that's it for this video. Hope you got value out of it. See you on the next one.